Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Broken Sword 2, and when last we left off, George escaped peril not once, but twice in quick succession. First, he defeated a spider that was eventually going to kill him, and then he put out a fire that wasn't going to kill him. No matter how long you wait, the fire never spreads, and George is in no peril because of that fire. He's not going to walk into the fire after all, not even if I clicked there multiple times. We've now arranged a meeting with Andre, who hopefully can give us some pointers as to what's going on, and why Nico wanted to see this person in the first place, a person that isn't here. We've opened the door, so now let's leave, and head over to that cafe that we've seen before, in the previous game.
I wasn't looking forward to meeting Labano again, but he was my only link with Nico. There was no sign of Labano when I got to the cafe. I decided to order a coffee and wait for him.
That's a good idea. That person also looks familiar. Let's have a look at this person.
The man at the next table looked somehow familiar.
That's because we've seen him before. He was sat, I think, here in the last game. And here is the waiter.
The waiter's stained and crumpled clothes looked as if they'd been slept in. I decided not to bother with a meal.
There is something that we can look at, though, and that is that there. Could you see very briefly that there was an icon to pick something up? There.
It was a small silver flask from which the man was topping up his glass.
Can we take it? I highly doubt it, because that guy's paying a lot of attention. We should probably wait for the waiter and order something to drink.
Oh, garçon. He ignored me. I'm sure it was deliberate.
It might have been. Then again, there's only you and one other person here, so it's very likely, in fact. We're not going to be going down there again. We can look at it, though.
I had no desire to go down into the sewers.
Are you sure?
I had no desire to go down into the sewers.
Fair enough. Let's try again.
Hey, you. What? I'd like a cup of coffee if you don't mind.
When I finish serving this gentleman.
Fair enough. Maybe you'll come over afterwards. We could actually go in.
It was too hot to sit inside the cafe. Besides, I might miss Labano.
That's true. And here's our coffee.
Un café.
Thanks.
Let's have a conversation now. We have lots of things we could talk about. Like, for instance, this dart.
Look at this. A poison dart.
Ah oui. Sure.
It's the real thing. Knocked my girlfriend out cold in a matter of seconds.
Romantic. Sounds like a real close relationship you have going.
I don't think that's what George was talking about, but fair enough. Also, we can't just hand over every single item that we have and ask people to have a look at them. That is a shame. I did enjoy using items to ask people about them. Let's talk about this person.
Do you know that man over there?
I should think so. He's a regular customer.
Who is he?
A man with a secret. He used to be a cop.
Of course. I'd met the gendarme in this very cafe.
He was kicked out of the force a few months ago. Since then, he's been drinking himself stupid. His liver must look like the last pickle in the jar.
What about the flask?
What does that guy keep pouring out of his flask?
Absinthe.
Absinthe? I thought that was highly dangerous and outlawed in France.
It is. Don't look at me, I didn't sell it to him.
There are two more things we can talk about. Like this.
Have you heard of Professor Oubier?
Oui. He married that actress, the little dachshund. They used to come here. The nutty professor and the movie star.
And there's something else we can talk about. We can talk about the movie star.
If Oubier's wife was a movie star, how come I never heard of her?
She was big in France. The world doesn't stop at Hollywood. Her stage name was Carol Climax. She died in suspicious circumstances.
Oh.
How did Oubier's wife die?
I heard he shot her.
And got away with it?
He had a good lawyer and a watertight alibi.
We can ask about him again.
Why would an eminent public figure like Oubier risk everything for murder?
He wouldn't be the first, would he? Besides, people like him always get off.
And now we have one more thing we can ask about.
Do you know a guy called André Lobineau?
Oui, I know him. What of it?
Well, I'm supposed to meet him here. Did I miss him?
No, I have not seen him today.
And there's nothing else we can talk about.
That's all.
Thank you.
And off he goes. Hello.
Well, this is a surprise, Georgie.
I wouldn't normally call you. But Nico's in trouble, Andre. Deep trouble. You have to help me find her.
What? What have you dragged her into this time?
It was you that recommended Professor Oubier as an expert on Mayan art. Now his butlers kidnapped her, and he tried to kill me.
Every time she gets involved with you, there is trouble. Walking out on her was the best thing you could do.
My father was dying, damn it. I had no choice.
Well, she soon recovered once she went back to her old friends.
Drop it, Andre. Right now, Nico's in danger, and we have to work together.
So, how can I help?
Nico needed to speak to Oubier about a stone.
Oh, you mean this stone?
So that's what all the trouble's about.
Precisely. Nicole told me to guard it with my life.
Well, it's worth more than that, surely.
Oh, very funny.
What's funny is that your life really is on the line.
What are you talking about?
The stone is a Mayan artifact, dummy. And the guy who kidnapped Nico was from Central America. It was the stone they were after.
Oh my god, you mean I could be in danger too?
You very much could be, Andre. You'll notice that a few of the characters from the previous game have had their voice actors changed. I believe Andre has a different voice actor, and Nico certainly does. George doesn't have a different voice actor, as far as I know. George has the same voice actor for every game in the series. Let's talk about everything, including the tequila worm. I'm very happy that they gave me the option to talk about the tequila worm.
What do you think this is, Andre?
I don't know.
I'll give you a clue. It's got more backbone than you.
You think you're amusing, don't you?
And we can't talk about that anymore. Let's talk about the small pot that we found.
What can you tell me about this pot?
South or Central American, I'd say. I have a friend who'd be able to tell you more.
Where can I find this guy?
He owns a gallery on the left bank, the Gliese Gallery.
That's a handy piece of information to know.
Take a look at this, Andre.
It's a bank statement?
Yeah, Professor Oubier's account. 5 large cash withdrawals in the space of 3 days. All from an automatic teller in Marseille. Suspicious, isn't it?
You're even more crazy than you were before.
All George is doing is trying to get to the bottom of what's going on. There's nothing crazy about him showing you a bank statement that he stole from somebody's house, and okay, maybe it's a little bit suspicious. Let's ask about Oubier.
Why didn't Nico take the stone to Oubier?
I don't know. Perhaps she suspected something like this would happen.
If she's been hurt, Andre, I'll break every bone in your body.
No, that's typical of you. Do you think I don't care what happens to Nicole?
It occurred to me that slugs don't have bones to break, but I kept that thought to myself.
Probably wise.
Tell me about your friend Oubier.
He's more of a professional acquaintance than a friend.
I see. So you don't really know him at all?
No, I don't.
Fair enough. Let's ask about the people that kidnapped Nico.
Does Oubier employ a guy from Central America?
Maybe. I don't know.
And one more thing to ask about, and that is the stone. Probably the whole focus of the beginning portion of the game, if not the whole game.
What do you suppose the carving on the stone means?
I don't know. I haven't shown it to anyone.
Why don't you just give it to me?
I don't want your death on my conscience, George.
Let's ask about it again. We need that stone.
Where did Nico get the stone?
It was sent to her.
From where? Who?
I'm not sure I should tell you.
Oh, you should.
It was something to do with smuggling.
And the waiter is just listening in to that part of the conversation. And then the waiter was secretly a Templar, and went back to alert Templars that had survived the... I don't think the Templars are involved at all, but then again, maybe they are.
See you later.
Goodbye, Georgie.
Meanwhile...
I've had enough of your games, Kala. Tell me what you've done with my stone.
I thought your business was simply smuggling cocaine, Karzak. Why are you so interested in that stone?
Either you tell me what I want to know, or Pablo here will make you talk.
Okay. Well, I figured someone at the university would be able to help. So I had a word with one of my girlfriends, and she told me her boyfriend was a lecturer. I sent the stone to the Department of Ethnology. You know, I figured it was South American, so... You're not buying this, are you?
That's enough! I don't have time to listen to your mindless prattle. We'll leave you to think it over. Come the morning, you'll be ready to talk.
Oh dear. Nico is most certainly in trouble. We should probably talk to this person. Maybe he'll recognize us.
Pardon me, but don't I know you?
Huh?
You were here the day I found the catacombs.
I was? Ah, yes. I remember you.
Yeah. Are you still in the police force?
No, not anymore. I'm a man of leisure. And what brings you back to Paris?
Well, let's talk about Nico. Maybe we'll get an opportunity to grab that flask.
My girlfriend.
What it is to be young and in love. Will you share a bottle of wine with me?
Hey, listen, I'd love to, but I need to keep a clear head.
So my company isn't good enough for you.
It's not that, we're just in a bit of a rush.
What do you make of this dart?
I remember a case where the victim was killed with just such a device. The poison acted in seconds, causing his body to swell up like an inflatable life raft.
That's probably not helpful information for us, and it definitely won't make George feel at ease. Let's ask about this newspaper clipping.
What do you make of this news cutting?
Orphanage supplied fast food chain?
No, it's the article above that.
Oh! Total eclipse of the sun. Well, that's very dull in comparison. I don't know anything about eclipses.
I don't think it's dull in comparison. I think it's actually the far more interesting thing there. Let's ask about this.
Tell me what you make of this note.
From my years of experience, I gained a pretty good insight into handwriting. I'd say that note was written by a compulsive, obsessive type with an Oedipus complex.
Hey, you got just about everything apart from the ponytail.
That is quite a lot of insight you have there, even with all of the wine and absinthe that you're drinking.
Have you ever heard of a Professor Oubier?
No, monsieur. I don't recall the name.
Well, apparently he's an expert on Mayan art and history.
A little out of my field of experience, monsieur. If he'd been a serial killer or a sodomite, I might have been able to help.
And is the conversation over? I want to talk to you some more. Let's talk about, Nico.
I'm trying to find my girlfriend. She's been kidnapped.
Kidnapped?
Yeah, it was our first day back together after many months.
That's too bad. My God, that's depressing.
He's a little sad. Let's grab this now.
I grabbed the flask and was struck by a powerful smell of absinthe, a highly potent and illegal alcoholic drink.
Let's talk to him some more.
Excuse me.
What?
Let's ask about, Nico again.
I'd been looking forward to seeing my girl, but she wanted to rush off to see some professor.
I see. And you think she's having an affair with this professor?
Look, forget it. It doesn't matter.
Let's ask about we could ask about the movie star.
Ever heard of Carol Climax, the movie star?
Yes, but I don't care for the kind of movie she's made. It's smut like that which has caused the moral decline of the Western world.
We could talk about this conversation more.
Is it true that Carol Climax was murdered by her husband?
First I heard of it. I thought she just retired.
We can ask about the wine. Let's do that.
What's that you're drinking?
It's wine.
Well, the waiter said it's absinthe.
That fool wouldn't know Pernod from cat's piece.
And one more thing we can talk about, and that is him.
Why did you leave the police?
I was forced to retire. The golden handshake. Only in my case, it was more copper than gold.
How come?
I was made a scapegoat to cover up the department's inefficiencies.
What kind of inefficiencies are you talking about?
Do you miss being a gendarme?
Yes, of course I do. When I wore that uniform, I commanded respect. Not anymore.
He's rather upset. I'm not surprised. I think the only thing we can do here is go. We could drink our coffee, I suppose.
I was sure I'd asked for cream in my coffee, but he'd brought me black.
Drink it anyway.
The coffee was very bitter and only lukewarm. There was also an unpleasant coagulated lump at the bottom of the cup.
I think it's time to leave. I think there's nothing more we could gain here.
Now I had another lead. I could either go back to Ubier's house or visit the Glee's gallery.
We could go back to Ubier's house. I don't think we're going to find very much there if we do. Or we could go to the Glee's gallery. Let's go back to... We could go back to Ubier's. Let's go back there first. It's probably not going to lead to anything. It's really not going to lead to anything, is it? Because there's nothing more we can do here. We can't open this door. We can't open anything upstairs. Let's just go to the gallery.
I had a choice of destinations. The cafe at Montfaucon or the art gallery.
Let's go to the art gallery.
The Glee's gallery had style and class, but very few customers.
It's probably not going to do very well. Let's have a look at all the stuff here. Can we have a look at you? We can't have a look at you. Let's have a look at all of this first.
I couldn't believe it. The pots were marked at 5,000 francs each. As far as I could tell, the pots were almost identical to the one I'd found in Ubier's house.
Coincidence? I think not.
Looked like a witch and a headless bust. I had seen better.
What about this one?
Looked like a witch.
It's exactly the same one. You have done that once before. Are you that bored that you're just going to keep walking up to that window, looking through with your tongue out and then leaving? And you've also walked by. You're just going over there, quickly running around the building and then coming back, aren't you? That's what you're doing.
The wasteland. Too minimalistic for too much money.
What about these?
Pots, pots, and more pots. All hugely expensive.
Very expensive by the sounds of it.
Looked like a witch and a headless bust.
We've already seen that one. Let's go over here and see if we can talk to this person. Maybe this person is the one that owns the establishment. Oh, there's also these here that we could have a look at. Or maybe it's you that owns the establishment.
Pots, pots.
Let's look at you first.
He was a pear-shaped guy with a fine display of multiple chins.
And them as you.
He looked like an older version of Labano. The same supercilious expression, the same disdain in his eyes, and the same damned ponytail.
There are items here. We could look at one of them.
It was a machine for reading credit cards.
That's probably something that definitely should be in a store. We could talk to you first, or we could talk to you first. There's also that there. Let's have a look back here. There's this area. We could go over here and see if there's anything hidden away.
It was a sturdy packing case.
Well, let's have a look at it. We won't be allowed, will we?
Excuse me, sir.
Uh-huh.
That area is private.
Oh, so I'm not allowed back here?
No, sir.
Fair enough. We're going to have to do something sneaky if we're going to get access to there. But that will be for next time, folks. For when we come back, we're going to follow this lead that Andre gave us, and hopefully we're going to figure out where we need to go next. At least I hope we will, otherwise Nico will be in serious trouble. She's already in serious trouble, so it's more accurate to say that she'll be in even more serious trouble. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later. Maybe we'll buy something while we're here. I doubt George has the money to buy lots of things here. Maybe one thing. Maybe. Later.